Hi, I'm Chris, welcome back to FRAG-MENTAL. Thank you for joining me. I'm coming in your eyes and your ears today with another in my one brand, 4 seasons video. Today, we're talking about Tom Ford's signature line. Stay tuned. As you can see from these little icons down here, I am on TikTok, but I don't have that many followers. So if you could do me a solid and head over to TikTok, I'll leave a link in the description of this video and let's get my numbers up over there. That'd be great, thanks. One of my favorite brands is Tom Ford because I feel like they have such a range of different fragrances. They've got some beautiful fresh ones for the summer. They've got things in the middle which are appropriate for spring and autumn, and then they've got some really heavy-hitting winter fragrances. I've decided to separate the private blend and the signature line, so in this video I'm just going to do signature line and I will do a separate private blend video. This signature line is a little more affordable, definitely more affordable than the private blend, but it is still pricey for designer fragrances, but I think you are getting a certain quality with Tom Ford. So what's a good freshie? The one I'm going for is Costa Azzurra Parfum. Not a lot of notes in the listing for this: lemon, cypress, oak, amber, labdanum, but there's so much more going on. This is quite a complex fragrance. I pick up on a little bit of incense, not sure whether there is or there isn't, but I also get a warm spiciness from it too. This is everything I love about a Tom Ford fragrance. It's impactful, it's a head turner, it smells fantastic, it's ticking a load of boxes. We've got a refined, clean freshness in the top, but then there's also a lot going on in the base, particularly with this parfum. I feel like there's stuff in here, maybe even a bit of leather, like I said, perhaps some incense, but there's definitely things in here that aren't listed that are creating this depth, this durability, this muscularity to the scent. And that's more noticeable in the parfum version. It's just slightly heavier. It does everything that was great about the EDP. That is a fantastic fragrance, but the parfum is a bit richer, a bit deeper, a little bit more impactful. So you could absolutely wear this during a hot, sunny day, but I think it's got a bit of an extra dimension in terms of its depth. So this would work fantastically well as a hot summertime evening fragrance. The EDP, not quite as much for me, more daytime, but this one I can wear easily daytime, but this one is on fire as an evening scent. It's got a nice oceanic, aquatic feel to it as well. It's got all these spices going on. It's got the depth. So it's a fresh fragrance with firepower, ticks a load of boxes for me. This is my summer choice. Springtime. I want something a little bit green, but also something with depth and complexity, but not too much. And I feel I get that with Ombre Leather Parfum. There's notes of violet leaf cedar, jasmine, orris, leather, woods, and tobacco. I'm a huge fan of the original Ombre Leather. I think it's a superb fragrance. With this one, I thought, with the parfum, are we going to get something like that, but with even more firepower, with more depth, with more strength, something deeper, slightly darker? It actually isn't that. If anything, it's something lighter, it's a little bit greener, it's maybe a little bit more sophisticated and a bit more mature, so someone slightly older would get away with wearing this one. I don't know, mid-20s, 30s, something like that. But because it's airier and greener than Ombre Leather Parfum, this one really excels, I think, in the springtime. Because spring days can sometimes be cool, they can sometimes be warm. This works in both those temperature situations. It's nice to have a little bit of greenness in a spring fragrance because we've got all new green growth coming through at this time of year, and there's something sort of green, maybe a little bit oak mossy about this fragrance, which I really enjoy, and I think that adds to the refinement and sophistication of it. But then there's lots going on in the base. There's some tobacco, so it's got depth. Definitely an impactful fragrance, but not so deep and rich that you couldn't wear it on warmer spring days. Definitely has that beautiful ombre leather kind of DNA, a little bit greener, a little bit fresher, more wearable, more versatile than the original. I love this stuff.
If you love fragrance as much as I do, head over to my online store, luxparfum.co.uk. You'll find my favourite brands, plus brands you can't find anywhere else in the UK. Link is in the description.
It's autumn and we're going in with the stunning original EDP version of Ombre Leather. There's cool spicy cardamom, a lovely robust leather note at the heart with some jasmine, amber, oak moss and patchouli in the base. What a fantastic release from Tom Ford. This was an incredible fragrance when it was in the private blend, but it was a lot more expensive. They discontinued it and then reintroduced it in the signature line. Same smell, but quite a bit cheaper, and I like that. They brought it to the masses because not many people were buying ombre leather as a private blend, I would imagine, but now you smell this quite a lot. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, I definitely smell this around and about. Good move from Tom Ford. They thought, we've created this really nice fragrance, it's not selling that well, let's discontinue it, reintroduce it in a different, perhaps more appropriate looking bottle, make it cheaper. And it worked. This has become a very popular fragrance. I can see why, because it's definitely got attitude, it's impactful. I can see someone going into a store smelling this thinking, you know what, I've never worn or smelled anything like that before. I love it. It's riffing on the Tuscan leather DNA, which is one of my favorite private blend, one of my favorite fragrances, full stop. But it is a little perhaps harsher in the leather, it's a bit more potent. This one rounds things off, it's a little bit sweeter. It's a more wearable version of that Tuscan leather DNA, which is incredible. So to create a more wearable version of an already incredible fragrance, that's why this is so good. The smell of it just seems to vibe with the sort of smells, the earthy, rich, deep smells that you get in autumn. It seems to combine and pair with that season perfectly for me. Bit of leather, a lot of performance, a lot of mass appeal. This one is the autumn choice. It's heavy hitter time now for the winter. This is the parfum version of a fragrance that is superb. I adore it. This is Noir Extreme Parfum. A true parfum flanker to the original, definitely has some similarities to Noir Extreme. We've got some cool spicy cardamom, there's ginger, there's some citruses, white florals, vanilla and leather. Love Noir Extreme. It performed all right on me. I'd say average, not a really fantastic performing fragrance, but really enjoy the smell. But this fixes the performance side of things for me. There's added leather in this, and I think that just boosts the firepower that this fragrance has. I wear this, it lasts longer, I feel like I can smell it for longer when I'm wearing it. And I love how this leather introduces this depth and this attitude that Noir Extreme doesn't have to the same degree. You do get these slightly elegant white florals in the Noir Extreme DNA. You get that with this, but to add the leather into it just balances it out to make it more masculine smelling. A signature part of the DNA of the original Noir Extreme is this creamy dessert called kulfi. I don't know whether it's officially in this or it isn't, but I definitely do get that spicy, creamy, gourmand element to this fragrance, perhaps even more so than in the original. So it's spicy, it's creamy, it's impactful, it's a beautiful fragrance, very mass appealing. People are probably going to love smelling this on you. And it's built in a very robust way. It's more robust than the original, which is why I feel this one works better in the winter. Really great release for some winter Tom Ford signature line firepower. It's Noir Extreme Parfum. So that's the 4 seasons covered, but I am including a 5th fragrance in this series of videos. One that you could wear all year round, something that is versatile enough to wear in the summer all the way through to the winter for different occasions, maybe casually, maybe formal. This one does it all in a superb way. This is Beau de Jour. A lot of lavender in this, like a lot of lavender, high dose of lavender, but it is quite mesmerizing. It's very clean and aromatic, and then there's other stuff. There's oak moss, rosemary, mint, so there's a nice herbal kind of smell. Bit of an old school barbershop type of smell, so it smells kind of like that aromatic shaving cream that you might get in vintage barbershops. And this definitely nods at vintage traditional men's colognes because of that lavender, the aromatic nature. But it doesn't smell old, it doesn't smell dated. There's enough in it to make it work as a modern day fragrance as well. It does smell very, very classy. Like, this is a very classy, gentlemanly scent. If you're dressed up looking sharp in a suit, this is a fragrance that is absolutely gonna work. But if you're going out in the summer wearing shorts and t-shirt, I've done it, I've worn this at that time, this works just as well. So this is one of those Swiss Army knife fragrances that you could own for lots of different occasions. I will say that if you're a younger guy, maybe this smells more on the mature side. So if you're anything sort of below mid-20s, perhaps you might be looking at other types of smells. Well, I don't know, you might like it, try it. But I would say this definitely leans a little bit more mature, but with that comes some gravitas. It's got some confidence. It's a very assured type of smell. So if you want to come across, or if you feel like you're the type of person that has some life experience, some gravitas, some confidence, this smell just pairs perfectly. Any occasion, fantastic performance. Beau de Jour is the fragrance that does it all. Those are my choices for 1 brand, 4 seasons, plus a versatile Swiss Army fragrance. What would your Tom Ford signature fragrances be? There are some fantastic ones. Does Black Orchid come into it for you? What about Grey Vetiver? That could be a good do-it-all versatile fragrance. Which ones would be the 5 choices from Tom Ford signature line that you would choose? Hope you liked this video. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok. And if you do all that, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.